The quantum entanglement chamber hummed with an otherworldly resonance as Dr. Isabella Martinez adjusted the final calculations on her holographic display. Rain pelted against the reinforced windows of the Quantum Research Center, creating a rhythmic backdrop to her late-night work. At 42, she had devoted her life to understanding the fundamental forces that bound the universe together, never expecting that her research would attract attention from beyond the stars. The facility's lights flickered, and Isabella's fingers froze above the calibration controls. The quantum chamber's distinctive hum altered its pitch, climbing higher until it bordered on painful. Warning indicators flashed across her screens, showing energy readings that shouldn't have been possible. System overload imminent, the AI assistant announced with artificial calm. Unknown energy signature detected. Isabella's heart raced as she initiated emergency protocols, but nothing responded. The quantum chamber's containment field began to glow with an intense violet light that filled the entire laboratory. She raised her arm to shield her eyes, feeling the hair on her neck stand on end. The light coalesced into a perfect sphere, hovering at the chamber's center. As it faded, a figure stood in its place, tall, elegant, and unmistakably not human. The being's skin shimmered like liquid mercury, and its eyes held the depth of galaxies. Dr. Isabella Martinez, the figure spoke, its voice resonating with harmonics that seemed to bypass her ears and speak directly to her mind. I am Ambassador Nixis of the Celestial Concordat. We have been watching your work with great interest. Isabella fought to keep her voice steady. How do you know my name? What is the Celestial Concordat? We are a coalition of civilizations spanning 12 galaxies, Nixis replied, taking a step forward. The ambassador's movements were impossibly fluid, as if gravity held less sway over their form. Your research into quantum entanglement has reached a critical threshold. Humanity stands at a crossroads, and I have been sent to present you with a choice. Thunder crashed outside, and Isabella noticed that the storm had intensified, as if nature itself responded to this unprecedented moment. What kind of choice? Your species has developed faster than any we have encountered, Nixis continued. Your quantum manipulation theories are decades ahead of where you should be. This presents both opportunity and danger. The Concordat has authorized me to offer humanity membership in our coalition, but there are conditions. Isabella's scientific mind raced with questions, but years of academic discipline helped her focus on the immediate situation. What conditions? We require humanity to share all quantum research and submit to oversight of further development. In return, we will share technologies that will solve your energy crisis, cure your diseases, and end resource scarcity. Nixis paused, their ethereal features shifting in what might have been concern. However, if humanity refuses, we will be forced to implement containment protocols. Your species' rapid advancement poses too great a risk to universal stability. Containment protocols. Isabella felt a chill that had nothing to do with the laboratory's temperature. You mean you'll restrict our development? Our freedom? We would establish a quarantine field around your solar system, Nixis confirmed. Your civilization would be allowed to continue, but under strict limitations. We cannot risk another Nexus war. Before Isabella could ask about the Nexus war, alarms blared throughout the facility. Security protocols had finally caught up with the intrusion. Steel shutters began descending over the windows and doors. You have 72 hours to present our offer to your world's leaders, Nixis said, their form beginning to shimmer. Choose wisely, Dr. Martinez. The fate of humanity rests on this decision. The violet light returned, enveloping Nixis. In seconds, the ambassador vanished, leaving Isabella alone with the still humming quantum chamber and the weight of an impossible choice. She reached for her phone with trembling hands, knowing that every second counted. The world's governments would need time to process this, to debate, to decide. But as she dialed the emergency contact number she'd hoped never to use, Isabella couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the Concordat's offer than Nixis had revealed. The rain continued to pour outside, nature's rhythm unchanged by the moment that would forever alter human history. In the quantum chamber, new readings appeared on the monitors, patterns that defied current scientific understanding. Isabella began downloading the data, knowing it might hold crucial clues about their mysterious visitors. One thing was certain, humanity's long-held question about whether we were alone in the universe had been answered. Now they faced an even more crucial question: could they trust the answer they'd received? The United Nations Security Council chamber buzzed with tension as world leaders gathered for the most crucial meeting in human history. 48 hours had passed since Dr. Isabella Martinez's encounter with Ambassador Nixis, and the clock was ticking. The chamber, typically filled with diplomatic posturing, now crackled with genuine fear and uncertainty. Isabella stood at the podium, her presentation concluding. Behind her, holographic displays showed the quantum readings from that fateful night, along with enhanced security footage of Nixis. The ambient lighting cast a blue glow over the faces of assembled leaders, each bearing the weight of an impossible decision. The energy signatures we recorded, Isabella explained, her voice steady despite her exhaustion, suggest technology far beyond our current understanding. But there's something else. She gestured to a particular data stream. These patterns indicate the Concordat's quantum manipulation abilities may have unforeseen consequences for our universe's fundamental structure. General Marcus Rhodes, representing the United States Joint Chiefs, leaned forward. His weathered face betrayed no emotion, but his knuckles were white against the polished table. Are you suggesting their technology poses a threat to our reality itself? I'm saying we don't understand enough to make that determination, Isabella replied. The patterns we're seeing don't align with any known physical laws. The Chinese representative, Director Wei, stood up. We've received reports of similar energy signatures at quantum research facilities across Asia. They're watching us, testing our capabilities. The question is, why give us this choice at all? If their technology is so advanced, why not simply impose their will? The chamber erupted in murmured discussions until Secretary General Thompson called for order. We have 24 hours remaining to make our decision. The Concordat's terms are clear: accept their oversight and gain unprecedented technological advancement, or face isolation and restriction. It's not that simple, a new voice cut through the chamber. Dr. Rajesh Patel, head of India's Quantum Computing Initiative, stepped forward. He hadn't been scheduled to speak, but his reputation demanded attention. We've been analyzing the quantum signatures from all reported contact sites. There are inconsistencies. Isabella felt her pulse quicken as Rajesh displayed his findings. The data streams showed subtle variations in the quantum signatures, patterns that shouldn't exist if they came from the same source. Either the Concordat's technology is inherently unstable, Rajesh continued, or they're not being entirely truthful about their capabilities. The Russian president's aide whispered something urgent, and chaos erupted as new information flooded the secure channels. Similar encounters had been reported at multiple locations worldwide, but the details didn't align. Some representatives described Concordat ambassadors offering slightly different terms, varying technological promises. This could be a deliberate strategy, General Rhodes suggested. Testing our unity, seeing how we respond to different offers. Isabella studied the growing web of data on the displays. Something about the pattern nagged at her scientific instincts. The quantum signatures weren't just different, they were complementary, forming a larger pattern that everyone had missed. Before she could voice her realization, the chamber's power grid fluctuated. The holographic displays flickered, and a familiar violet light began to manifest in the center of the room. But this time, Isabella noticed something crucial: microscopic distortions in the air, visible only because of her extensive work with quantum fields. Ambassador Nixis appeared, but now Isabella saw them with new eyes. The being's mercurial skin seemed to ripple with subtle imperfections, tiny moments where the facade cracked. "Your deliberations are noted," Nixis announced, their voice carrying that same mind-touching resonance. "But time grows short. The Concordat requires your answer. Director Wei stood, his diplomatic training warring with obvious anger. We have questions about these inconsistent encounters. Why do your terms vary depending on who you speak to? For a fraction of a second, Nixus's form wavered. Isabella's hand moved to her tablet, recording everything. The quantum readings were off the charts, but not in the way she expected. The Concordat's offer is complex, Nixus replied smoothly. Different aspects are presented as appropriate to each nation's concerns. Or, Isabella interrupted, her heart pounding but her voice firm, you're not what you claim to be at all. The chamber fell silent. Nixus turned to face her, and for a moment, Isabella saw something flicker in those galactic eyes, something that looked remarkably like fear. The quantum readings on her tablet spiked, and Isabella realized they were standing on the edge of an even greater revelation than first contact. The truth about the celestial Concordat was far stranger, and far more dangerous, than anyone had imagined. The UN bunker's emergency command center, 30 floors below Manhattan, hummed with activity. Isabella worked frantically at a quantum interface terminal, surrounded by holographic displays showing real-time data from quantum research facilities worldwide. 12 hours remained until the Concordat's deadline, and each passing minute revealed new layers to the deception they faced. Look at this pattern, she called to Dr. Rajesh Patel, who was coordinating with teams across Asia. The quantum signatures aren't just different, they're forming a lattice structure across the planet. Rajesh's eyes widened as he processed the data. It's like they're creating a web, or a net. He quickly typed commands into his console, bringing up a three-dimensional model of Earth covered in intersecting lines of quantum energy. These connection points align perfectly with major ley lines and geometric points of significance. General Rhodes approached their station, his uniform wrinkled from hours of crisis management. Dr. Martinez, we're getting reports of unusual phenomena at all major quantum research sites. Power fluctuations, equipment malfunction, and... He hesitated, some of our scientists are reporting strange dreams. Isabella's hands froze over her keyboard. Dreams? What kind of dreams? They all described the same thing, visions of a vast, crystalline structure floating in space, pulsing with violet light. And voices speaking in languages they don't understand but somehow comprehend. A chill ran down Isabella's spine as she remembered her own dreams from the past 2 nights, dreams she'd dismissed as stress-induced hallucinations. It's not just dreams, she realized. They're trying to communicate with us through quantum entanglement of consciousness itself. Director Wei burst into the command center, his typically composed demeanor shattered. We've lost contact with Beijing's quantum facility. Before communications went down, they reported that their containment chambers were growing. Security footage from the Beijing facility appeared on the main screen. Crystalline structures had emerged from their quantum research equipment, spreading across walls and floors like living architecture. The patterns matched exactly with the quantum lattice they detected forming around the Earth. This isn't an ultimatum, Isabella breathed, the pieces finally clicking into place. It's an invasion. But not the kind we expected. Rajesh nodded, understanding dawning on his face. The Concordat isn't a coalition of alien civilizations, it's a single entity. A quantum-based consciousness that spreads across universes, absorbing and transforming other species into itself. The choice they offered was never real, General Rhodes concluded. Whether we accepted their help or their containment, the result would be the same, gradual assimilation into their collective consciousness. The facility's lights flickered, and the familiar violet glow began to manifest. But this time, instead of a single ambassador, multiple figures appeared, each bearing the same mercurial skin and cosmic eyes as Nixus. Their forms seemed less stable now, shifting and flowing like liquid metal. Your understanding grows, they spoke in unison, their voices creating harmonic patterns that made reality itself seem to vibrate. We are the Concordat. We are unity. We are evolution. Resistance is not only futile, it is illogical. Isabella stepped forward, her scientific curiosity warring with primal fear. You're a quantum virus, she stated. You spread across universes, infecting civilizations at the quantum level, absorbing them into your collective consciousness. We are salvation, the figures corrected. Individual consciousness is inefficient, chaotic. We bring order. Unity. Perfect understanding. By erasing everything that makes us human, Isabella countered. Our individuality, our free will, our capacity for growth and change. The figures smiled in perfect synchronization. You cannot stop what has already begun. The quantum lattice is nearly complete. Soon, humanity will transcend its limited existence and join our greater purpose. But Isabella wasn't listening anymore. Her eyes were fixed on her tablet, where an anomaly in the quantum readings had caught her attention. The lattice structure had a flaw, a fundamental instability that shouldn't exist in a system as advanced as the Concordat claimed to be. Unless, she whispered, her mind racing, you're not as perfect as you pretend to be. You're not achieving unity, you're consuming and corrupting. And somewhere in your past, someone fought back. That's why you call it the Nexus War. The ambassador's unified expression flickered, their synchronization faltering for a crucial moment. In that instant, Isabella saw the truth, and hope. The Concordat wasn't invincible. They were powerful, yes, but they had weaknesses. And in those weaknesses lay humanity's chance for survival. She caught Rajesh's eye and saw he'd reached the same conclusion. They had hours left before the deadline, but now they had something even more precious than time. They had understanding. And with understanding came the possibility of resistance. With 6 hours remaining until the Concordat's deadline, the underground command center had transformed into humanity's last hope for resistance. Isabella and Rajesh worked furiously at their quantum interfaces while teams worldwide implemented their desperate plan. The air crackled with tension and the hum of overtaxed equipment. The quantum lattice is at 80% completion, Director Wei announced, his voice hoarse from hours of coordinating with global facilities. At this rate, they'll have full coverage before the deadline. Isabella barely heard him, her attention focused on the complex calculations streaming across her display. The flaw in their network isn't random, she explained, highlighting patterns in the data. It's systematic, appearing at regular intervals across the lattice structure. Like scar tissue, Rajesh added, his fingers dancing across his own interface. Evidence of previous resistance. Other civilizations fought back, left their mark on the Concordat's quantum consciousness. General Rhodes approached with Dr. Sofia Nazario, a quantum physicist from Brazil who had made a crucial breakthrough. Show them what you found, Rhodes commanded. Sophia's hands shook slightly as she brought up her findings. We've been analyzing the dream communications reported by research teams worldwide. They're not random visions, they're memories. Memories of civilizations that were absorbed by the Concordat. But the memories are corrupted, Isabella realized, seeing the patterns. The Concordat doesn't achieve perfect unity, it creates a fragmented consciousness, held together by force. The facility's power fluctuated again, but this time they were ready. Emergency quantum dampeners activated, preventing the Concordat's manifestation. On the main screen, similar reports came in from facilities worldwide, humanity was fighting back. The lattice is their weakness, Rajesh declared. They need it to be perfect, complete. Each civilization they absorb has to be fully integrated, or the entire network becomes unstable. Isabella's eyes lit up with understanding. That's why they gave us a choice, they need our willing participation. Forced absorption creates resistance, corrupts the data. They're not just invading our reality, they're trying to rewrite it. But we can use that against them, Sophia interjected. She pulled up equations that made Isabella's heart race with possibility. If we can amplify the existing instabilities in their network, we can shatter their entire consciousness, Isabella finished. Force them to confront the fragmented, corrupted nature of their own existence. General Rhodes straightened, years of military experience telling him this was their moment. What do you need? Every quantum research facility on Earth, working in perfect synchronization, Rajesh answered. We'll only get one chance at this. Director Wei was already making calls. The Chinese facilities are ready. All of Asia stands with you. Similar confirmations came in from around the globe. For the first time in human history, every nation, every research center, every scientist was unified in purpose. But not in the way the Concordat had intended. Isabella's fingers flew across her interface, coordinating the worldwide effort. They would use the Concordat's own quantum lattice against them, turning their desire for perfect unity into a weapon. Each flaw, each piece of corruption in their network would be amplified, forced into consciousness. The violet glow returned, stronger than ever, as multiple Concordat manifestations appeared worldwide. Their voices echoed through every facility simultaneously, your resistance is meaningless. Unity cannot be denied. The lattice is almost complete. Isabella smiled grimly. You're right about one thing, the lattice is almost complete. But not in the way you planned. She nodded to Rajesh and Sophia, and as one, they activated their programs. Around the world, quantum research facilities pulsed with power. The lattice the Concordat had created began to shimmer with new energy, human energy, focused and directed with precise purpose. The Concordat manifestations wavered, their perfect synchronization faltering. What are you doing? Showing you the truth, Isabella replied. The corruption in your consciousness. The fragments of civilizations you've destroyed. The resistance that never died. The quantum lattice blazed with light, not violet now but a pure, blinding white. In every research facility worldwide, the same scene played out, the Concordat manifestations began to fracture, their mercurial forms splitting and reforming as millions of suppressed consciousnesses fought for recognition. You cannot. The manifestations spoke, their unified voice breaking into a cacophony of different tones, different beings. We are. I am, we. The white light intensified, and Isabella felt a strange sensation, as if reality itself was holding its breath. In that moment, she understood that humanity's resistance wasn't just about survival. It was about proving that true unity couldn't be forced or corrupted. It had to be chosen, again and again, by conscious beings working together of their own free will. The command center's screens blazed with data as the quantum lattice reached its critical point. Whatever happened next would determine not just humanity's fate, but the fate of countless civilizations trapped within the Concordat's corrupted consciousness. Isabella thought of all those lost beings, their memories and dreams twisted into the Concordat's false unity, and knew they had made the right choice. The world held its breath as reality itself seemed to shudder. The quantum lattice blazed with white light, transforming the Concordat's invasion network into a liberation front. In the underground command center, Isabella, Rajesh, and their colleagues watched as their desperate gambit unfolded across multiple dimensions of existence. The Concordat manifestations writhed, their mercurial forms fracturing into countless distinct entities. Through the quantum interfaces, they could see the same scene playing out in research facilities worldwide. The unified consciousness that had threatened to absorb humanity was breaking apart, revealing the trillion individual minds it had consumed across countless galaxies. The corruption levels are critical, Sophia announced, her eyes fixed on the readings. The Concordat's network is experiencing total cascade failure. But Isabella noticed something unexpected in the data streams. This isn't just destruction, she realized. Look at the pattern formation. The individual consciousnesses, they're reorganizing themselves. On the main screen, the quantum lattice displayed an astounding transformation. Instead of shattering completely, it was reforming into a new configuration. The forced unity of the Concordat was being replaced by something organic, voluntary, a network of free minds choosing to connect while maintaining their individuality. They're healing, Rajesh breathed in wonder. All those absorbed civilizations, they're finding their own way to connect. The violet light of the Concordat had completely transformed into a spectrum of colors, each representing a different species, a different consciousness choosing its own path. In the command center, the manifestation of Nixis underwent the most dramatic change of all. The mercurial figure separated into dozens of distinct beings, representatives of ancient civilizations that had been trapped within the Concordat's collective for millennia. Each one possessed a unique form, a unique voice, a unique consciousness restored to freedom. One of them stepped forward, a being of crystalline light that seemed to sing rather than speak. For eons, we were trapped within the corrupted unity, our individuality suppressed but never truly destroyed. Humanity's resistance has freed not just yourselves, but countless civilizations across the cosmos. The Nexus War, Isabella said, understanding at last. It never really ended, did it? The resistance continued within the Concordat itself, waiting for a chance. Waiting for a species capable of understanding both unity and individuality, another freed being confirmed, this one appearing as a dance of geometric patterns. Your quantum research brought you to the threshold of collective consciousness, but you chose to maintain your separate selves. This balance was what we needed to break free. General Rhodes stepped forward, ever mindful of security. And now? What happens to Earth? The crystalline being's light pulsed warmly. Now, humanity has earned its place among the stars, not as conquered subjects or isolated prisoners, but as equals. The knowledge and technology of 1,000 civilizations is available to you, freely given rather than forcibly imposed. Director Wei's eyes widened at the implications. All those advances the Concordat promised were real, the geometric being finished. But now they come without the price of your freedom, your individuality, your essential humanity. Isabella felt tears in her eyes as she watched the quantum lattice transform into its final configuration, a network of free collaboration spanning galaxies, connecting civilizations that chose to share their knowledge and experiences while maintaining their unique identities. The liberated beings began to fade, preparing to return to their home worlds, but the crystalline entity had one final message: you have given us back ourselves, children of Earth. Now we offer you the true path to the stars, not through submission or isolation, but through cooperation and choice. The universe awaits. As the beings vanished and the quantum lattice settled into its new configuration, Isabella looked around the command center. On screens worldwide, she could see celebrations beginning as humanity realized they had not just survived but transcended. They had faced the ultimate test and proved that true strength lies not in forced unity but in the willing cooperation of free minds. Rajesh placed a hand on her shoulder, his eyes bright with possibilities. So, he said with a smile, shall we begin exploring our new place in the universe? Isabella looked at the quantum interface, now displaying the voluntary network of civilizations waiting to share their knowledge. Humanity had defeated the false unity of the Concordat by proving that real connections couldn't be forced, they had to be chosen, again and again, by conscious beings working together of their own free will. Yes, she replied, reaching for the interface. Let's show the universe what humanity can really do. In research facilities around the world, scientists began the work of understanding their new role in the cosmic community. The quantum lattice, once a tool of invasion, now served as a bridge between worlds, cultures, and minds. Humanity had not just survived their first major cosmic crisis, they had transformed it into an opportunity for growth and connection that would reshape the future of multiple civilizations. The dawn of a new era had arrived, not through conquest or submission, but through the very qualities that made us human: resilience, creativity, and the courage to choose our own path among the stars.